Hello everybody, welcome to Coco's Crochet. I'm Litsa and this is Coco, and today we're bringing you our podcast number 33. Now Coco's got her pretty lilac frock on with some little picot stitches down at the back, and before we get started you can see she's a little bit restless because she's waiting for her afternoon tea. So we've got her protein chicken just in here in her little container. I shall pop her down on the floor as always, but before we do that she'll say woof 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 to everybody, and then she will enjoy her treat. Oh my goodness, she has been very patient today. There we go, she can enjoy that. You'll hear her as always munching away in the background while we sit together and have a little chat. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really do appreciate it. As always, we look forward to our podcast where we can catch up with all of you, let you know what we've been doing during the week, and you can tell us, of course, as always, down in the comments what you're working on, and you know, that way we can all get some inspiration as well. Now I'm looking around, and as always I think we have to start with Tile of the Week Thursday. So this week's tile comes out of this book as always. And for those of you that are new, I'll just give you a little outline of what Tile of the Week Thursday is. So all the tiles are made out of this book here, which I purchased on Amazon. You can also get it on Kindle, and I'm sure there's other great booksellers. This is the brainchild of Sam at Manfors Makes. If you haven't already done so, please go and visit her. I'd be very surprised if you haven't, and I'm sure if you have, you're staying, because she is amazing. Her content comes out every single day, and her and Mike not only do some other episodes together, but this is the one that introduced me to them, because I was randomly going through YouTube and I came across one of their Tile of the Week Thursday episodes, and I was stuck. I loved hanging out with them, and then I thought I'd join them along. So we're currently at tile number 42, but I joined at tile number 25. I will endeavor, if I have time, to make some of the previous tiles and the one tile that I missed out a few weeks ago. I will show you my little stack after I show you this week's tile. So we're very lucky because, along our journey, so a lot of podcasters have joined Sam in this organic cow, and if you type in hashtag Tile of the Week Thursday, you'll get to see everybody that has joined in. But I'm very lucky, and so are a lot of other content creators. We have a lot of you joining us as well. So we have Josephine and Liza, who have become part of Tile of the Week Thursday now as regulars, which makes it even more exciting. So let me show you this week's tile. It's actually called Lotus Blossom, and here it is here. Now, let me see. Can you see that? Isn't it? It's very pretty. That's not its pattern, so don't worry, you're not getting any copyright. There's no copyright issues there. Now, it's a very pretty tile, I must admit. And I did enjoy making it, but mine looks very different to everybody else's. One section anyway. I'll let you know what I've been using for my tiles. So all my squares are made using the Marvel 8-ply yarn, which is a DK weight, and it's 100% acrylic. And this week I think we had to use 5 colors. So this is one of the colors that we used. And I do use a 5mm hook for each and every hook. Regardless of what the pattern designer requests of us to use, I'm making them all as uniform as I can. And when I show you my stack, you'll see that they are varying in sizes, which means at the end, because I'm hoping to make a blanket with them all, I'm going to have to border some of them to bring them, to the larger square size before I put them all together. So I will show you, the previous tiles in a minute, not each and every one individually. If you want to see them, just go back in time or watch, Sam's playlist. You're going to get to see them all there. So what does my tile look like this week? Here we go. Now, look at my blue petals there. They're going off at an angle like that, not straight up. I'm not saying that I don't like it. I'm just saying that they look a little bit different to everyone else's. But the only thing that it does do, you can see the little baubles there in the background. they're actually poking out a little bit easier, I think, than some of, you know, the other people that I've spoken to. I didn't mind making this tile at all. It's at the back here, we had to do some sort of like a circle at one stage, which is where we connected these little bauble bits here, or little picos. Actually, they're not baubles, they're picos. We only had to do those baubles. So all in all, it wasn't a horrible tile to make. I did enjoy it. I'm just very confused as to how my blue petals turned out like that. But as I said, I'm not hating them. I'm just saying they look a little bit different to everybody else's. Now let me show you Josephine's and Liz's. So here is Josephine's tile. Absolutely gorgeous as always. And for those of you that may have just joined us, Josephine is using a colour pack from Ophelia Talks, which she purchased about 2 years ago, which means all her tiles to date have got the same colour palette as well. So absolutely gorgeous. See how her, very different to mine, turned out gorgeous, of course. And wait till you see Liz's. So pretty as well. Absolutely love it. Now I have to tell you that Liza made this last week, and she's also made tile 43 last week. So she is really enjoying you know, creating the tiles as well, and hers is absolutely gorgeous. Love the colors. Now look at the difference with the colors. How beautiful are they? Your eye sort of goes to different areas. This one goes more to, for me, to that area there. And Josephine's, the outside borders a little bit more. Isn't it amazing how colour placement does that? And there's mine compared to everybody else's. Sorry about the light glaring a little bit, but I do like to show them side by side when I can. Whoops, let me hold that one there like that. There we go. Mine really does look very different. Oh, well, enjoyed making it. Will I make this one again? I don't think so, but in saying that, you never should say never, right, guys? So that's our Tile of the Week Thursday. Please visit Sam and Mike if you already haven't done so at Manfers Makes, and I will link that down below for you, their little channel, if you haven't already seen them. Now, I didn't think I was going to talk about a single blanket tonight because, shock horror, I don't have any in the making right now. Well, I do have some sleeping whips, but any that I'm currently working on. But I have to talk about our cowl here at Coco's Crochet, our little blanket. The reason why I'm bringing mine out for you tonight is to remind you all that this Saturday, the 27th of May, we're going to do the colour reveal for our November colours. Can you believe this, guys? So with October done, we only had 1/6 to go, I believe. Yes, 2 months. I cannot believe that we're at November. So next month, for those of us that are following along with just the colours, you'll get the new colours. And those of us who are doing the stitch sampler blanket together are going to continue with the same stitches, which is the cross double crochet and the half double crochet on top, US terminology. So I'm absolutely loving this blanket. I have to tell you, it is so cozy now because it is quite cool here in Sydney, Australia. So I'm really enjoying it when I'm crocheting it and it's on my lap. Now, we have been very lucky that we've got some blankets to show you from some of you. Now, let me, as always, I've got my trusty clipboard here. So let me flip the page so I don't miss out on anything. So let me grab our first, let me get my glasses so that I get everything to you properly. So our first blanket comes to us from Sally and Suki. So hello to both of you. Now, Sally says she's loving how her blanket is turning out and loved doing the cross double crochet and half double crochet stitches together. I'm so happy about that. And she said she always uses stitch markers. Now, I couldn't be happier with that. Absolutely gorgeous. And she said that she had to fold it up so that we could actually see it. Look how big it is. Oh, I love it. I just love looking at all the different color combinations. I mean, every time someone sends me one, I have to say I stare at it for so long and I think, oh my goodness, beautiful. Now, the next blanket comes to us from our lovely friend Pearl. Have I got it, the right one here? I'm sure I do. And here it is here. Sorry, guys. And Pearl says she can't believe we're almost done as well. Everybody is saying that, and she definitely needs a border, and she's not sure what stitch yet. I'm right there with you, Pearl. I'm not sure what stitch yet either. So, and Pearl said she had to scrunch hers up to get it onto the bed to make sure that she could get it in the photo. So everyone's have grown so amazingly. Now, another area that you're able to look at other people's blankets as well, their progress is on our Instagram using the hashtag Coco's Crochet Cal 2023. And our friend Rebecca from Yarn and Pajamas has sent hers in for us to see. I did see it on her podcast. If you haven't visited her, please go and visit her. She is gorgeous. You will absolutely love hanging out with her. And here she is done. She's got all her colours in up until October. At one stage, I think she only had one row of the yellow. I can't really tell without my glass on if she's out of the second one. But either way, she's pretty much done and ready for the November colours. So bring them on, people. Not long to go. So there's our little catch up for our Cal 2023. As everyone's saying, I can't believe we're nearly done, and I really need to sort out what stitch I'm going to use for the border. I'm actually leaning towards the half double crochet, so I might go that way. I wonder if any of you have made a decision as yet, or you're just waiting till the final minute. And then the other thing too is choosing the color that we're going to use for the border. Anyway, we're nearly there, so it is getting very, very exciting. Now, while we're showcasing everybody's work, our friend Beth, let me get my glasses on, send me a little email to suggest that I watch. Now, I can't say the name, but I think you all know her. Tina, is it Thoraditu? Anyway, everybody knows Tina on YouTube, Tina. She is an amazing mosaic crocheter. She does do other things as well, as of course, but she has a video tutorial series for beginners, and one of them shows you how to do the double border so that you can hide all your ends, because that's the thing with a lot of the mosaic crochet, you do have a lot of ends to sew in. So Beth sent us a photo, and one of her friends is modeling it. So I've put a little love heart on her face because I wasn't sure if she wanted to be seen on camera. But look at that gorgeous, gorgeous coat. So Beth created that, and she said that the pattern is by Anu, ANNO, Crochet Designs, and I'll pop that down in the description box for you. And she did use, and you can see the border around here, she did use Tina's video tutorial to help her, hide all the ends and create her border. So thank you so much for sharing that with us, Beth. Absolutely gorgeous, and so is your model. Thank you very, very much. So that's that for now. So I just can't wait until Saturday. So I'm actually very excited about the new colors myself. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is my finished projects, so FOs. I've actually got some finished objects, which I'm so excited about. Now, the first one that I'm going to show you, and it's finally happened. I had made a promise to my son that I would finish his jumper in time for winter, and I just made it in because winter is just around the corner. So here it is here. I'll just show you. There's it's a very simple pattern. It's just double crochets and then some front loop, back loop to create like the ribbing, and around the neck as well. It is a beautiful size jumper, and I have to say, I gave it to my son last Saturday night, and he wore it out to dinner that very, very night. So that was very, very exciting for me. I'll just let you know what I used to make it. I didn't bring up my little hook, but that's okay. So I did use the Spot Saver acrylic yarn. It's 100% acrylic and just in the black. And I ended up using 2 ball bands and a tiny bit from that other skein that I just showed you. Now, the stats for this yarn is that, as I said, 100% acrylic. It comes in 200 gram balls, and so it was 312 meters per ball. So I used about 700 meters, I'm guessing, which is pretty good. And I did use a 7mm hook to create it so that it's got a nice, drape to it as well. So it's super, super soft. I did use a Bag O Day pattern, and I will show it to you, the YouTube pattern, because it just says men's sweater. It's a very basic design, but one of my favorites. So here it is here, guys. So I hope, can I enlarge that? No. So it's actually the top, this one here, that pattern there. Oops, silly me. So if any of you are wondering, that's the one that I've been using. And it is a wonderful tutorial, and most of you would have used at least one of Crystal's patterns, and you know how good she is and how amazing her tutorials are. So that's the one that I used to create my son's jumper, and I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but it was a 7mm hook. So this one is a tick for me because, you know, it was something that I had promised my son for winter, and I'm so happy that it's happened. Now, 2 ball bands to go into my bag of ball bands, but I have to tell you, it made me laugh. When I completed the jumper, I said to myself, I'm pretty useless. Well, I need to get better at judging how much yarn I need for a project, because I had about 7 balls or something put aside for this. So, and I was saying, oh, I hope I don't run out. So lesson learned that I think that I over exaggerate the amount of yarn that I need. Not to say that I won't be using the black that I've got. It's amazing to have black in your stash. I'm not worried about that. It's just that I couldn't believe that at the time I had this tote full of yarn, black yarn, hoping that I would complete it. I could probably make at least another, I don't know, 2 jumpers out of that. So that's great. Now, the next finished objects that I've got, there's 2, and they're both beanies, and they're for my son's, one of his best friend, Mills. So I had promised him that by this winter, I would have a beanie ready for him. And the beanie that he had requested, I have 2. I'll talk about the second one as well. So basically, footy colours, his favourite footy team. And football here in Australia is rugby league, which I believe in America is gridiron, and in the UK and Europe is soccer. We play soccer here as well, but we don't call it football. So basically he wanted his team colours. Now I had, you know, an idea, and I might hopefully get it done for the next footy season, because now we're halfway through and it's just not going to happen. I wanted to create with all my Ogos all the colours of the teams. But at least I got one done for Mills, and his colours, his team is Parramatta Eels, and these are their colours. So I think he will really like wearing this one when he's at a game or even at home, because the boys hang out and watch the games very often here in their little, you know, men's den downstairs where they've got it all set up. Anyway, I'll tell you what I used to make those. I just have to reach over here. So basically I used my Ogos. Now, most of you who have been with me for a while know that I have a huge stash. And I did pull apart one of my Ogos, and the colour for it is, oh, excuse me, the colour name. So it's a bulky yarn, the one that I've bought, and it is the color Overboard. So I used this one here, but what I did is I actually pulled it apart. Very easy to pull apart, and I used all of, you know, that color there pretty much to the very end. So that worked out very well. So now I have this to, you know, use. I'll put it in my scrap bin, not bin, I've got a bag full of my Ogo yarn leftovers. And then the other color that I used for the yellow, so my other Ogo that I used was First Blush. And this one has all these colors in it, and I used that much of the yellow. But see how simple it is to actually pull it out. Now this one's a bit floppy, but you can see how easy it is just by grabbing onto the ends to separate your colors. How amazing is that? That's why I do love the Ogos. If you want to do color controlling, very simple to do. If you don't, just as easy to just have it self-stripe. But I think for beanies, I do like when I get to do the color controlling, because they are such a small project. So tick another box, another promise that I had made to Mills. You're going to get your hat in time to wear it for most of the football season here in Sydney, Australia. Now, the other beanie that I made for Mills is using my 2 spot savers in the black and the mint, exactly the same stats as my son's jumper. Very, very soft and squishy this yarn is. And I just made another similar beanie to the other one. And these are the colours of Mills's work shirts. So he can wear this one on cold, cool winter mornings on his way to work. And then, you know, at the end of the day as well, on his way home. So there you go. 2 beanies. Oh, I just have one little end to sew in. Okay, I just saw that now. So there's the 2 beanies that I've also made. So another 2 finished objects for the week. So very, very happy with that. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is just so yummy and exciting, and I cannot wait to show you. Some of you that may have seen my Happy Mail video from Josephine will remember this. If not, go across and see it. You don't want to miss out. Now, Josephine gifted me this beautiful tea doddle bag. It's absolutely gorgeous. Here is the inside as well. Just a beautiful, beautiful bag, and it's got the drawstring. And inside it lives the Hirschner's yarn that Josephine gifted me. There are 2 balls, and this is, oh, look at the size of it. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at the colors. Just love it. I will just read out the colorway for you. So this is a Hirschner's gradient yarn, worsted weight yarn. And it is 100% acrylic, and let me tell you, it is so super, super soft. My favorite thing, and I just was so excited that I emailed Josephine. I always remember people talking about the Hirschner's fast start in the middle, and how exciting was I when I just had to pull that little tag and start my yarn ball. So this is absolutely gorgeous, and it's in the color Grape Jam. Absolutely love it. So there's one that's sitting in there currently, but I have started a project with the other ball, and the project is the same one that came in the pack, which is this gorgeous monochromatic shawl. And I will show it to you in just a moment. So basically I've got to do 15 rounds, rows 2 to 5, 14 or 15 repeats, and I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a bit to go, 5.5 to go. So I'm nearly there, and then you create a border around it. But before I show you the shawl, there's just one more thing I need to tell you. Josephine is an amazing human. We all know that. She's very generous and kind, but not only with her gifting and her donating, but with her and her time. Like, I know that all takes time, but I emailed Josephine and I said, Josephine, I just can't get this pattern in my head. I tried and tried for about 2 hours, frogged it 3-4 times, and then just gave up. And I emailed her, and look what she did for me. She actually explained it to me in other emails as well. She did it row by row, and then she sent it to me like this so that I could actually have a visual. I'm a very visual learner. I'm not sure about you guys, and I just couldn't get the turning, the end bit. I'll get the middle bit because it's just V stitches and a little like shell stitch, which is absolutely gorgeous, but I could not understand how to end the row and start the row. So Josephine took the time to show me. She's an amazing teacher, so I just wanted to add to that list of traits that Josephine has. So thank you so much, Josephine, for helping me out. And now she's going to finish her shawl, and then we're going to have a shawl that's exactly the same, just very different colors. Okay, I know you're waiting to see it. It's worth the wait. Let me show it to you. It's so beautiful. I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. Look how the colors are coming out. Absolutely gorgeous. Now it started at this end, and look at it up close. How beautiful is that? I cannot wait to finish it. I'm hoping to have it done maybe in the next week or so. And this is such a beautiful soft acrylic yarn, and I'm very, very lucky to have this. I do know that because in Australia, I've never seen this yarn, and I'm sure that we can order it online, but it wouldn't be, cheap to come across to us from the USA. So, Josephine, thank you so much for such a wonderful gift. I cannot wait to finish it. It is so beautiful, and this little bag is absolutely gorgeous. It fits this project in perfectly. Now, I am using a size 6mm hook to I'm just going to pop this in here as well to crochet this up. It does ask for a 5.5mm. It recommends a 5.5mm hook, but I'm using a 6. There you go. Perfect. It's just the perfect size for this project. And look at the colors. Purple, purple, purple. What can I say, people? Perfect. So, I've got to put my little pattern back in there later, and I am keeping track of my rows because that's very, very important, especially for someone like me who, is a little bit challenged. So, that is my whip, my active whip, because I do have other whips which I'll get to, but at the moment that's my active whip. So tick that box as well. I'm so happy to be working on it. Now, a lot of you are wondering, so Lisa, did you ever do a tally on the Crochet Society Box 42? Because everyone that voted must be wondering what's going on. So thank you to all of you that voted. Yes, I have tallied the votes, and yes, I have started the project. So I'm hoping to bring it to you ASAP. So I have been working on that actually today. So I have started it about last night actually. I started it last night and I have worked on it today. So I'm hoping to get it to you as soon as possible. And it is very exciting and lots of fun, the process. And the other thing that I want to show you, but I think I've got a photo of it. Last week if I don't have it this week, it doesn't matter, I'll show it to you next week. I can't remember if it's on my phone, the photo, or on my iPad. I made that little poncho. I think it's on here. Yes, it is. So I made the little poncho for my future daughter-in-law's little penguin, and here he is wearing it. Oh my goodness, he is the cutest. Let me see. There he is. That made me so happy when she sent me those photos. So there he is, our little penguin friend. His name is Moofy, or Moofy. I can't say it the right way. He's nice and warm for winter. And I actually made the colors that I use. I'd made her a cardigan, like a hand knitted one, the huge yarn, and it's the same color, so I thought that would be matching. So there you go, all matchy. You know, I'm all about matching everybody up. So I think that's pretty much it, guys. Let me check my clipboard, make sure I haven't forgotten anything. No, that's it. I think we've covered everything I needed to share with you this week. We have had a nice week. I've been lucky enough to get some crochet time in. Coco has been very snuggly with this weather, and I think she's enjoying, the fact that, most of us are home now because nobody really wants to venture out. So yeah, I hope all of you have had a wonderful week too. The time flies. I can't believe that we're on podcast number 33. By the way, 33 is one of my favorite numbers, so I hope you all enjoy this podcast. And we're actually 9 months in since we started last September, and look at us, hanging out together every week. Our little crochet family and community has grown so much, and I couldn't be happier that we're all together and that I get this opportunity to share what I do with you. Now, the only thing that I didn't do, which I promised that I would, and I'm sorry, I've just looked down and I've just jumped, is show you my stack of tiles. So here they are here. Now, this is why I need to refer to my notes. So, I've actually got 16 tiles, including today's tile. So, where's today's tile? Let's pop it up on top. And I've pretty much put them in order of their size. So, can you see the one at the very end? And let me take tonight's. Actually, the one under it is a bit small. Look at the size difference, guys. So this one pretty much fits in there. So that's what I'm talking about, building up these ones around to fit this size, so that I can, although it could be like a patchwork. That's another idea. Anyway, I'll have to think about that when I've got them all together. So I'm going to be using all the tiles, but working out exactly how I'm going to do it. My first thought has been to border them all around to make sure that they all are the same size. But there is only one tile that I'm not going to use. I don't believe so. Not that it's ugly, but I don't know how I can square it off properly, or maybe I'll work it out. But it's this tile here. It's lovely, don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. But never say never, like I always say. Anyway, thank you for letting me show you the tiles, because I did promise that I wouldn't. I didn't want anyone to be waiting and they've missed out. Whoops, I think I bumped the camera, sorry, from my excitement. Okay, so on that note, as I was saying, I hope you've all gotten some crochet in. Here in Sydney, Australia, and most of Australia, it's cooling down, so it's really getting into crochet weather, which is very, very exciting. I know a lot of you, across in the US and the UK and Europe is warming up for you, so I'm sure that you're working on smaller projects, which is what I generally do in the summertime. But in saying that, doesn't mean that, you know, with some aircon on, you can't create a huge blanket as well. So whatever you're working on, please let us know down in the comments. Like I said earlier on, that way we can all get inspired as well. I absolutely love knowing what everybody's working on. As always, share with me on email, because that way I can share with everybody else, have a little visual. And also, if you want to post anything on Instagram, please do so. We're at Coco's Crochet __. And keep those cows for our Coco's Crochet, hashtag Coco's Crochet Cal 2023 coming, so I can show them every week as well, because we're nearly at the end of it. And like I always say, I hope at the end we just get a whole lot of blankets come to us via email and not Facebook, Instagram, and that way, you know, we can all admire everybody's blankets, because I know there's quite a few of us creating them. So, you know, let's all share them if we choose to. So on that note, I'm going to let you know that Coco is having a disco nap. So she says woof woof. And as always, I say take care. Thank you for hanging out with us. And we shall see you all again in another video. Bye-bye, everybody.